Alrighty. Third time's a charm, I guess. Okay, so hopefully you're here because you just bought yourself a nice little present, a little Rane 12 Mark II, and you got yourself Traktor Pro. I'm running Traktor Pro 3. I believe you need the latest update, so make sure you do your updates. It's got the mapping for this thing for Traktor. So you gotta make sure you do that. First thing you do out the box, you want to get this guy on your table. You want to get this guy's RCA leads and USB. You got to plug in both. It doesn't work just over USB. USB is just for your lights and your buttons and stuff like that, and your power, of course. But the real thing is the RCAs. RCAs, they run your time code. This thing is just like a CDJ turntable with time code vinyl or a control CD. It runs off the same thing as a control signal that comes through. Traktor reads the control signal, figures out what the hell to do with it, and that's how it works. So you want to fire this guy up, turn it on. The switch is kind of in a weird spot, but that's fine. So what you want to do is you want to hold this button here. If you can kind of see that just below this guy here, between your toggle for your seek and your cue points, there's a little button hiding right there. I'm going to hold that guy down. So if I press it right now, you can see it says Traktor on there. You can't see because this camera's crap and I got the screen selected, so you can see the options more than anything. So that says Traktor. If it doesn't say Traktor, you want to hold it down to select. So now you can scroll through. It'll say Virtual DJ, DVS, Serato USB, Serato DVS. And then it goes back to Traktor because I think that's the only ones that it fully supports. I usually turn on the volume to about 80. I don't think you really have to once you get it set up right. I'll have it at 90 for now. It should be fine. It shouldn't be a big problem. What you want to do now is, so now I got this connected to line in. Make sure it's on line in, not a phono input, because this is a line control signal. You want to make sure it reads cleanly, or else you get some skipping around, doing some stuff it ain't supposed to do, and you want to throw the thing out the window, and you just paid $1,000, and you're gonna ruin your day. So don't do that. So right now, the way this mixer is set up, as I got 4 inputs here, right? For each one of these, there's a phono and a line input for each one of these 4. Your system's gonna definitely be way different than this. Everyone's setup's different. You might be using this just on internal stuff, and if that's the case, you're gonna need a little audio box where you can run these phono inputs in, or run the run the RCAs into, not phono inputs. Don't use phono. Make sure they're line. So now, just to show you, once you do get it hooked up correctly, I'll select the line input here. This is what you're gonna sound, or what it's gonna sound like. It's very loud, so make sure you turn it down because you're gonna blow your ears out. Now, hopefully that's not too loud, but that is the sine wave, or whatever it is, something like a sine wave control signal that comes out of this guy into your mixer and then into your Traktor, and then it controls whatever you actually want to play, because I'm sure you're not DJing with this thing. Great song. Great song. Good job. All right, so now back to my digital control. We'll rewind this. And now, so once we got this being fed into this guy, and we know which input it is on our mixer, we're going to go over to our Traktor screen. So hit the little cog icon up there. Make sure you hit that. So first off, we're going to go to input routing. This is the part that took me the longest to figure out because I'm an idiot. And if somebody else is not the most experienced, this is what's going to happen to you as well. So right now you can see my 7 and 8. That's my record channel. So the volume's bouncing up and down. But what you want to do is you want to scroll through on whichever deck you want the Rane 12 to control. So right now I have it set up as A, B, C, and D, which means that I can use this to control whatever deck I select. Now, sometimes you're only going to want one, and that's fine. But I would recommend you set it up this way. If you're going to only use 2 decks or something, you only have to do A and B. But if you're going to run all 4 decks, I would select that same input on all 4. Now, you're going to have to find that input first off. So what I recommend is turning all your volumes down and just running that time code signal. And this is what you're going to see. So I already have it selected to the right channel, and that's great. You can see that timecode signal is just kind of buzzing along there, making some weird hellish noise that Traktor knows what to do with, but I don't. So we're going to let Traktor do its thing and take control. We're going to leave that once you got that set up. And then we're going to go to timecode setup. I'll stop it here so you can know, or so you can see what it looks like when it's not playing. Chill out. Okay, it stopped now. Good. So we go to timecode setup. And now this is where you select which decks you want internally controlled, like on MIDI Traktor control, and which decks you want controlled with, I don't know about exclusively, but that's how you should treat it. It's either you want software control or you want deck control with your actual Rane 12. Now you can see just because I touched it, it's doing some crazy stuff there. This is how you know it's working. Once you see it set up like this, it means Traktor's reading the time code. You're going to get some weird messages pop up. Either it's going to say calibrating. Mine, I got apparently a grounding issue somewhere. So mine says ground hum every once in a while. Apparently that's kind of a common thing though. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But now, whether you click on here, so you can click internal playback or scratch control, and you'll see it say calculating, and it'll say calibrating in the top corner there, above whatever deck you have controlled at the moment. So from here on, this is where you know everything's gravy. Everything's Gucci. Everything's good. Man, that's trippy looking. Okay, anyways. So these all my decks right now are set to be controlled by this thing, which is great, cool. And last thing we're going to do is, if we haven't done this yet, go to your device setup or your controller manager. If you don't see this device in here yet, click add, import TSI, go to Rane and Rane 12 Mark II. Perfect. Once that's selected, make sure your in and your out ports are set to the Rane 12 Mark II, just like that. That way your MIDI is going to work, and now we know your input or your audio is working as well. Sorry if this is long and drawn out, but it took me forever to figure this out too, because, yeah, I don't know. So now what are we going to do? We got this working, and you can see that it's working. Cool, great. But now what I'm going to do, so I don't want deck A just right now controlled, so I'm just going to hijack. Anytime you touch a control on any other deck, it's going to hijack the control back to like software mode is how I think of it. So now when I hit play, we're not over here anymore. We're not in turntable land. We're in software land. So now we're going to go to deck 4. I already have it selected here. I'm going to go. You can see it's already triggering. That's how I got it set up. I already got the cue points loaded up on this little track here. It's just some scratch samples. So now when I hit start or play on this thing, it's gonna go right into it. As long as you have the deck controls set up. This little icon right here needs to be blue. That means your time code is controlling it, and that means that your deck is gonna work the way you want it to. Just like that. And now, if I switch back to deck A, because this is not spinning, it will kill the track. So you got to make sure to keep that thing moving when you're switching between your decks. And you can see, as soon as I hit track A, it lit up that little timecode icon on the screen on my first track loaded up there. And now it's being controlled by my Rane 12. We're back in it, just like that. Look at that. So now we come back over here. Great. everything's working. It's great. It's fantastic. It's amazing. I can't believe it. So now you can use this guy. Normally what I do is I keep it tagged on the little dots here. It makes it easier to control when you're scrolling between your tracks. You click this thing in, it'll load your next track up to your deck. And because it's not moving right now, it's not going to play the track. So what you want to do is you just want to... Actually, you know what? That's pretty common sense. I'm not even going to over-explain this thing. Once you're into this section, you kind of know what to do. You kind of know how to play around. You're going to do your own thing anyways. So if you got any questions after that, just message it below. I guess that's pretty much it. Like the video, sure. Comment if you got questions. Don't bother subscribing because there's not going to be much else unless somebody needs a follow-up explaining something else. But hopefully this helped. And yeah, if I had this video when I was setting it up, I would have been done the first day, not the first or second week or something, getting this thing running the way I would have liked it too. So anyways, hope you enjoyed and hope you learned something. Have yourself a great day.